Yeah, I'm just posting it on some of my social platforms. Alrighty, so my sister has told me that the stream has begun. So, are we good, Caitlin? Alright, so, hey everybody, this is Blood Moon Bobby here, and I'm here with a very special guest on this Blood Moon Ball anniversary. I have cosplayer and artist Katlyn Heinrichs here. So, how are you doing today, Caitlin? Yeah, I'm doing good myself. It's actually just making sure. Could you like just say something into the microphone? I'm not sure if it's picking up. Where is it? Just make sure that I have this on the correct setting. Should be correct. Sorry. It looks like I'm having a bit of a technical issue here.
It's okay.
Wait. Oh, there you go. It works. Okay. Let me try switching back to my headphones. So, yeah, sorry for the people in the stream. Having a few technical issues here. But anyway, so, yes, oh, how are you doing, Caitlin? Good. Okay. Maybe it's best if I switch back to desktop audio. So, yeah, so I figured that we just talk a bit about the cosplays that we're wearing. So, we actually met at a previous, was it Long Beach Comic Expo, I believe? I remember Comic Con. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think
Long
I'm
Beach
gonna have
Comic
to stick
Con,
to.
first day I was regular star, and then by the time night fell, I was Blood Moon Ball Star. And at
Yeah.
that time, I actually had to use my actual hair.
Mhm.
Now it's just a bun that's held on with a ton of magnets.
Mhm.
So, but now it looks way better. So, and then the
Okay.
second day I was Eclipso.
Yeah, and that's where it was the first time we met. I interviewed you for my video.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I see that Chris has joined, and yes, I can now hear you in the stream loud and clear. Everybody says so. I sent you the link to the live chat. Did you see it? I see.
Yeah, I got it.
Um, yeah,
I
your
have it
friend.
set up right here on my computer, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Chris is here. I also see one of my social media followers, Jeffrey, in there. Hello, everybody.
And then Ray is one of my friends. She's actually in the background right now.
Oh, hello there. I was wondering. And yeah, but yeah, it's nice to meet you. So yeah, so do you want to tell us a bit about the cosplay that you put together? It looks really nice.
Yeah, it started off with a red here, I think I can stand up. Oh, and there goes my lighting. Uh, it started off with a red dress that I got from Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to make sure that the strap was on the right shoulder for sake of accuracy. And then I took this one's broken, but I took little polymer clay. I took polymer clay and made it into buttons,
Mm-hmm.
and then covered the buttonholes with hearts. And then I recently got another petticoat for it, and then this is just ribbon and more polymer clay. I use a lot of polymer clay in my cosplays.
I see.
And then this is some sort of like stretchy cord. And then I altered it to where this pink pettiskirt is sewn into the dress.
Mm-hmm.
which I'm going to change soon. That way I can actually get that bubble shape because my most recent purchase is a hoop skirt and it's going to let me get that volume that I want, like that dome shape from the show,
Mm-hmm.
and it lights up.
Oh, you're gonna make it into a sort of light up cosplay? Yeah.
Just the skirt though for now. And then the horns are made out of polymer clay. These are actually my original. These are my original horns from when I started cosplaying a star. And so these have like a multiple bendable headband.
See?
And then the
Yeah.
wig I got from one of my friends actually. I kind of styled it the rest of the way, but I got it from another star cosplayer actually.
Oh,
Her at on Instagram is Glitch Cosplays,
I shout out
and
there.
and she I saw she listed this on Depop, and so I was like, I'm gonna snatch that and make it my own wig. And so there's 6 magnets on the inside, 5 magnets on the underside of the bun, and the bun's made out of yarn. So
Creative touch.
yeah, it sticks on like that, and it
Yeah.
actually looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, it all looks really nice, and I noticed you got makeup there. Oh, yeah, the mask that you showed me on Instagram.
I have my non-canon star mask inspired from Sailor Moon,
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless.
Yeah. You know,
So,
it's funny because like Star versus the Forces of Evil as a show was inspired by Sailor Moon, right?
mhm.
Yeah, it's kind
So
of funny. When I look at like Blood Moon Star Marco, I can't help but make that connection to Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask. I honestly wonder,
mhm.
is this some kind of illusion that the Star Crew was trying to, you know?
Well, Darren even said, from what I remember, is that she was trying to breathe a new air into the magical girl genre.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so magical girl being Sailor Moon. So, yeah, I just had fun making this after I made a whole bunch of Blood Moon ball masks, one that Chris has.
Yeah. It all looks really nice. Before I go on here, I wanted to show. Is it cool if I show people? Chris gave me one of your fan arts at a convention in Pasadena. Could I show it? It's the beach day one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I still have it. I don't know if you can hear me that well. Hanging on my set whenever I do my videos. So yeah, this is
Oh
the
my
one that you
goodness.
drew, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
really great.
I do that, and actually, Adam got a copy of that too, and so it's sitting in his collection too.
It looks remarkably like something from the show.
I'm actually thinking of selling it on Etsy, but my Etsy shop isn't really that developed yet, so
I'm sure you can work on it, though.
I have a
Because
lot
it's
of
really nice.
Salem stuff on there right now, and then I
Hmm.
recently put a Danganronpa thing on there, but that's it. So I haven't really put any star things on there. I'm thinking of making some bleh, Blood Moon ball masks and putting it on there, and then putting some beach day photos on there too, because
Yeah.
That's like a must have for any star cosplayer, because having that extra touch of having the beach day photo in your bag. So.
Hmm. Yeah. And so I'll talk a bit about my costumes. So the one I'm wearing, noticing it's getting a bit laggy, but the one I'm wearing was actually designed by my sister. I remember when I saw Blood Moon Ball. I mean, we could talk more about the episode in a bit. I was really blown away. It was a really fun episode to watch. I think it honestly was the one that like convinced me maybe this Star Marco pairing Starco could be a thing. And I saw Marco's costume, and I was like, "There's no way we could find something like that." And my sister Penny, she also does much of the illustrating. Do you remember meeting her when we interviewed you? She was
Mhm.
cosplaying as Gaz.
Gaz, yeah.
Yeah. And she, wanted to take on the challenge. So it's kind of similar to what you did, where we kind of took everyday clothes and, well, it was mostly Penny, and styled it to look more like something in Star Wars: The Forces of Evil. So she
Mhm.
took a hat that was sitting around to make Marco sombrero. I'm sure Penny herself could explain it much better. The suit I'm wearing is a modified version of one of my real life suits, I would wear for fancy
Mhm.
occasions like a wedding or a graduation. And Yeah, and the pants are basically another like kind of dress pants that I would wear on formal occasions. The mask is I think it was a started as a paper mache mask. I think kind of feels like
Mm.
cardboard, but yeah, I'm just really proud of her. I think it's I was legitimately blown away. I couldn't even have asked for a better costume. And the first time, what was the first time you wore the Blood Moon cosplay, Caitlin?
Actually, the first time I wore the Blood Moon cosplay was Long Beach Comic Con.
Yeah.
It was actually because I wasn't expecting to go because I had moved to Washington. And so, but I'm like, but I want to, because at the time I met Chris on the Star vs. Amino,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were like, well, the Long Beach Comic Con's happening, and so why don't we meet? And then I ended up moving up to Washington for some reason, and then I'm back in California for good. But
Okay.
I moved up to Washington, flew back with my Blood Moon cosplay in hand. I put on my wig that I originally made, and it was too small.
Oh.
I didn't alter it. Like, I didn't work on it while I didn't try it on while I was making it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at least the dress was finished, and my hair was blonde enough to use for regular Star. Now I can't believe that I used to use my natural hair for Star.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I Blood Moon Star probably took about a month to make, gathering all the materials and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't take long, not as long as Classic Star. Classic Star, her dress itself, the base dress, the mint green dress, took about, I want to say, 2 weeks to come in, because what I first do is I thrift,
Mm-hmm.
and so I uh I basically get a thrifted dress from Goodwill and then turn it into another one. Like, I'm actually working on another Star cosplay right now
Mm-hmm.
for KPR's Forever's When Two Worlds Collide, and it's basically the aftermath of the end of the show.
I see.
So,
Yeah, it's definitely a popular topic. I mean, as for me, the first time I wore my cosplay was Anime Expo 2017, and I was really anxious. Both me and my sister were, and we were just amazed. I mean, I've been to Anime Expo like quite a few times before, never in full cosplay because this was before I really started to get back into cartoons. But yeah, I was just blown away. It's part of like a lot of people really enjoyed it. Some people thought like I was like a character from Coco, and but I was able to meet a lot of
that's what
people.
Chris got a lot.
Really?
I
Yeah, did they think he was Miguel?
Yeah. And then once they saw me walk around the corner, they're like, oh. And walking in those boots, I have the boots, it's just they're in the other room.
I see.
Um, they're Ray, can you go grab my boots? They're in my suitcase. They're white go-go boots with hearts painted on them with glitter, because apparently I was obsessed with I mean, the glitter ties in with everything.
I
But
see.
they're white go-go boots with a red ribbon trim, and I painted. Oh, here they are. I just need one of them. Thank you. I just need one of them. So I got this red ribbon at
Mm-hmm.
the top, and then I have the heart on the tip, and then I painted the bottoms red
I see.
as an added touch.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
really cool. So yeah, but it's just really impressive, and this cosplay was part of the reason why I wanted to, because I had a YouTube channel at the time, but it wasn't really taking off, and it was a kind of a different channel from what it is now, and so because I felt really motivated by what happened at Anime Expo, I was like, okay, I'm gonna rebrand my channel and not just cover Star Wars: Force of Evil, but also talk about other shows that I like. But since I was really into it and still am to this day, that's why the logo is of me cosplaying as Marco. And so I think we could actually like start talking about the episode.
Yeah,
Did you start getting into Star from the beginning?
I think I actually got into Star mid-season 1. I didn't take I personally didn't take a liking to it like in the beginning, but
Mm-hmm.
once I started seeing this blonde girl that had magical powers and was a rebel princess, and that's what got me into it. And I personally think that in my own way, Starverses has changed my life
Mm-hmm.
because it's opened me up to more opportunities, such as being able to cosplay more. Star Wars, the actual, well, no, that's a lie. My first actual attempted cosplay was Temmie from Undertale.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a tail and ears and everything, and no. And then my second
Okay.
cosplay was Star. And I put so much work and detail into that dress. I was so proud of the wand. And by the time I made my Star cosplay, it was 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I cosplayed in public. It was at Long Beach Comic Expo 2018. No. No, it's 2017. Never mind. It was Long Beach Comic Expo 2017. And I was cosplaying as Star with her Season 3 wand because apparently I decided to make the Season 3 wand first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went in there with my boots, my original boots, and I remember this was the saddest moment of my life. One of the horns broke off during convention.
Ooh.
But I ended up making my new boots, and my new boots are holding up pretty well. They're an old pair of Doc Martens that I painted with this metallic purple paint.
Yeah, they certainly do look like they've held up pretty well.
Oh yeah, the horns now, instead of being made out of polymer clay, because the chip of the horn chipped off at con, now the horns are made out of resin, and that gave me the opportunity of making them glittery.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that opportunity and ran with it. And so now they're glittery. And I actually got Best Technical at Bellingham Comic Con last year because I had my interpretation of the Muberty wings, which I didn't bring with me. And then I had those, and then along the brim of my skirt, no one notices it until I point it out. Along the brim of my skirt, over where the lace is,
Mm-hmm.
there are tiny little stars stitched into the bottom of the dress
I
as a
see.
hidden little detail.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, details count. Even though you don't see that in the show, I figured it'd be a cute little detail to add into the cosplay.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, from coming from Long Beach Comic Con to going back to Washington, my original Season 3 wand broke.
Oh.
So now I have my heavily upgraded wand
Mm-hmm.
that I can change out the stars that I didn't bring with me. That I can change out the stars, and I can actually slap on the all-seeing eye spell because I made a little thing for it. It's pretty cool. It's on my
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. So it seems like you experienced a lot through your cosplays.
I got to meet Chris, and he has been one of my friends ever since I met him on Amino last year in about April?
I'm sure he could
March?
tell us in the chat.
He doesn't even know, but I think we met in February on the
Mm-hmm.
Amino, and we didn't realize it. I don't know, but I was posting my Star cosplay everywhere, and we were on a chat called Talk to Star Butterfly. But yeah, and then there was a day in high school that my friend Ray is mentioning. It was Future Day, and okay, so April. It was Future Day, or it was something. It was either between Future or in Another Dimension Day. No, it wasn't Magic Day. It was in Another Dimension Day. And so I literally took it. I took it literally, and so I wore my Star cosplay to school.
For
That was
Futures Day, was it, what was it about?
well. It was in Another Dimension Day. It was like in Another Dimension Day, being like supposed to be future themed, is you're supposed to dress up like robots and stuff like that. And you got me just walking around in my Star cosplay, all proud.
Mm-hmm.
I had some people recognize me. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely nice to be recognized. So,
I actually got recognized. We were, Ray and I were walking around in Spectrum Center, and I got recognized by a couple people, and I actually took pictures of some people, so that was pretty cool. And I was wearing my star mask.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I know we briefly talked about how we got into the show. I personally got in, like, in between seasons 1 and 2, like, it was after the first season, because I didn't really know what Star was when it first came out. I think I remember my friends mentioning it, and I was like, what is that show? Star versus what? Like, yeah, they didn't show it to me at the time. And then after the first season aired, they invited me over. We went to one of my friends, like his home. We often do movie marathons, and we were looking for something to do. And my friend is like, hey, let's show Bobby Star vs. Force of Evil. And I will say that from the first episode, I really got into it, and it's kind of hard to explain. Other than I really got into like Star's character. I like the idea of this like character who, especially in the beginning, is very like kind of wild and expressive and kind of reckless, but at the same time she's a very reasonable and rational character that can calm down and reason. And when I saw in the intro that she teams up with Marco, something about it is just like, oh, that looks so cool. And yeah, so it's just like from there, that's how I got into the show, and I think I've been just as enthusiastic ever since. What was your experience when you saw the Blood Moon Ball episode?
When I saw the Blood Moon Ball episode, I was like, wait a minute, who's this purple dude? And then we find out he's introduced as Tom, and I'm like, oh no, that's her demon ex-boyfriend. He's gonna try to get back together with her, which is kind of what happened, but he failed miserably. And then Marco, with his inner self-defense karate boy senses, is like, don't go. And then starts like, I'm totally going. Using that rebel princess of hers, being like, I'm not going to listen to you. Because I can. And then another scene that got to me was when he's like, this, when Tom was like, this blood isn't real. It's blood from a unicorn. She's like, my best friend is a unicorn, thank you very much. Yeah, that burned a bridge there, but, I mean, obviously what happened, I
mean, could you imagine if Pony had found out?
Oh god, if Pony had went, she probably would have been horrified.
Yeah.
I can't even picture that. Okay, I can't picture that.
Yeah, let's not even go there. But anyway, what did you think of when they actually got to the dance?
When they got to the dance, I felt like the dance itself was foreshadowing for the show, but I didn't think much of it at the time. But now looking back at the show, I'm like, that's some major foreshadowing, especially for season 4.
Yeah, I mean...
So...
Yeah, and what did you think of the ending?
The ending of the episode or the show?
The ending of the episode.
Episode. Ending of the episode, I feel like Star and Marco bonded a little more. And so Star learned that basically, obviously Star has grown up and Marco needs to back off, but she understands where Marco's coming from, and he understands as well. So that's why I'm saying that they literally went, as they say in the episode.
Yeah, pretty much, or at least starting to get there.
To an extent.
Yeah, I think for me, it honestly took me a few viewings. I mean, I do remember, enjoying, much of the episode. I really like the line that Star says that I think summarizes it really well when she tells Marco, I don't need a hero, I need a
I need a
friend.
friend.
Yeah, I
That one
literally
was a
have that
big
quoted
quote.
on a fan art from the artist Atomicmangos sitting on my set as I say that now. I thought, it summed up Star's situation perfectly in that she didn't like being overprotected by Marco, and especially since we've seen that Star is pretty powerful enough. But at the same time, it was kind of, I could understand where Marco was coming from. It's that, he cared for his friend. It's just that he doesn't have to get involved, as much as he does.
Mhm.
Yeah. It honestly took me a few viewings to like think, maybe this could be some kind of like more than just it could be more than just friendship because the thing that like indicated to me maybe this could be going somewhere big was when you see the final like literally the final frame of the episode, you see that the blood moon is hanging down like the light is shining down over Star's tower where Star Marco are hanging out at the end and I was like oh my god! And from there, and then
Foreshadowing.
yeah, and basically I turned into a major Starco shipper, and it's just like
I
woohoo!
mean, from the start, I was a Starco shipper.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Mhm.
And then when in the show, Tom Star happened, I'm like, hmm.
Yeah. Let's just say when that like oh, are
It's
you
fine.
okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good.
I
So,
didn't adjust them enough.
whoops,
I'm
whoops,
fine.
whoops, dropping a lot of stuff here, but we're good. But anyway, yeah, I'll just leave my how I felt about the. I mean, I like the Silver Bell of Fall episode, but interestingly enough, when I first saw that Comic Con trailer when they showed Star and Tom dancing, I literally did a video where I did an intro where I was like in my Marco cosplay and I was going out to my family's car and let's just say I edited it to make it look like Tom did something really, really bad. Yeah, it was my first stint at special effects.
Nice.
Yeah, but personally, I respect all shippers. I think people should be allowed to.
Everybody has their own rights to their own ships.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Mhm.
Granted, yes, I strongly ship Starco,
Mhm. Yeah.
but everybody can get into a ship war saying, "Oh, this should happen or this should happen," but it all happened and it happened. There's also AUs. There's mainly AUs, and then there's ships, and then there's crack ships like Studo that I do not suggest looking up.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either. But it's the kind of thing where it's
And
like,
then I think someone also did Staffy. Yeah, no, no, no,
yeah,
no,
dip, dip.
no,
I'm not
no,
going there either. No, 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 no. No,
no.
that's yeah. I'll just
That's
leave it
bad.
at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I definitely do. It's so much so that like I was waving what I call the Starco flag that I've often shown on social media. It was I could get into the symbolism. It was inspired by like the flags of Austria and Canada because I wanted to make a flag that was like it symbolizes Star Marco's like deep feelings for each other, but at the same time symbolizing peace between the different ships. And for people watching, if they want to, they can go check out my Instagram account. I've literally done well. I worked with my sister on flags on not just Starco, but also like Markapoo,
Mhm.
Cloaky, even Tom Star. People watch the
Mhm.
show could make the connection of what these ships
And then
are.
you got Tomko, and then you got the one that my friend mentioned in the chat, Marco Spider with the top hat. Gel Apocalypse's ship.
Hmm. Yeah, I noticed my friend Gabby's in the chat. Hi, Gabby. How are you? She's also a really big Star vs. the Force of Evil fan. She's been there on some of those times where I freaked out over some episodes. Yeah, good times, good times. But anyway, you want to talk a bit about Curse of the Blood Moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curse of the Blood Moon was interesting.
Mhm.
The start of the episode was adorable. Like, how they're sneaking food.
Mhm.
And then Marco's like holding the bowl. He's like, this is adorable.
Mhm.
Like, and then he couldn't get over it. Went to Eclipse. He's like, what do I do? He's like, can you help me make me forget this? She's like, no. It's a part of who you are, basically.
Yeah, she
And
was
then
basically like, gotta embrace your feelings. You can't,
you can't make them go away.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm. Yeah, I also thought it was a really interesting episode too. I mean, oh my
the
god, because
cursed.
like
And then you got Jana that severs her soul from herself.
Mhm. Yeah.
Technically, she has two half souls, not two whole souls.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense in a way. It's funny because all throughout this episode, the first time I heard of Curse the Blood Moon was when they were showing one of the trailers for, I think it was for season 4, and they showed this little itsy bitsy clip of Star Marco dancing, and I was like, "What? Like,
Like,
what?
who?
Like,
What?
what's going on?
I think I started freaking out during that moment too. I was like, wait a minute, what?
And here's the
Excuse
thing,
me?
it's not just Star Marco. It's not like they just ran a clip from Blood Moon Ball. No, it looks like they actually like show more of like the dance, and I was like, what is going on? Like,
And then I liked when, well, number one, Tom's like, yeah, you're cursed. The Blood Moon cursed you two to be together, and then you got me. That's baloney. They liked each other from the start. They just didn't admit it.
yeah,
As the Truth or Punishment box had kind of revealed at the end of what was it, the sleepover episode.
dang it, what was the name of that box?
It was
The
Truth or
Truth or
Punishment.
Dare or something like that.
Well, it was technically called the Box of Truth.
Box of Truth, yes.
And then Ponyhead brought it in, calling it Truth or Punishment. And it was set on like the Bachelorette setting or something, or party mode or something like that. And then they ended up using it on Eclipsa. But yeah, and I really liked the dance scene where Marco's like, well, I would have been shoved across the ballroom by now. And then Star's like, I like this, and I literally started crying, and I'm like, they're not gonna remember the time they fell in love, but I'm like, number one, that's baloney. Because I feel like they had a connection before.
Yeah.
Like,
I honestly always felt they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jackie saw it. That was a big moment there when Jackie saw it, and she's like, you need to go to Muni. I'm sorry. And then now Jackie has a girlfriend. She's happy. Marco has Star. All the Starco shippers are happy. Tom, in some comics made by Mooring Mark.
Mooring Mark, yes.
Yeah. There's those, and so, yeah. Ray, can you hand me my charger? Sorry, I'm on my computer right now, and apparently my battery decided to drain on me.
Dang. Hoping it can get charged in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny because while we're chatting, I'm admittedly also looking at the chat every now and then to see, just in case we get a question. So, yeah. So, but it's cool. Well, do you need me to wait?
Huh? I got
do you need me to wait?
I got it.
Got it?
It's plugged in.
Okay, that's good. So, yeah, because, like, throughout this episode, I think there were, like, rumors flying around that, oh no, it looks like Star and Marco were going to, like, break up in this episode. God, I think I remember the reaction to the episode. A lot of people were scared. Oh no, does this mean Starco is no
It's
more,
never gonna
and
happen.
I kind of played along with it. I made this like picture, like really dark picture of the Starco flag, like it's like it's some kind of
It's like
group.
it's slowly deteriorating.
hmm Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because like in the episode Star, I think they were kind of like pretending that oh yeah, the Blood Moon curse, it's totally gone, which I took it as the curse is gone, but their feelings are genuine.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You can't get rid of feelings. You can only get rid of the quote unquote first time they fell in love. But then again, the feelings were cemented there.
hmm And you know,
So.
I'll be honest though, the shipper me got kind of mad thinking about that because I
Oh
got
yeah.
kind of concerned. Wait a minute, does that mean Star can't remember the first Blood Moon dance, but she could probably only remember the Silver Bell Ball?
It reminds me of the one scene. I don't know if you ever saw Cinderella 3, but when the evil stepmother takes the magic wand and she basically separates Cinderella from her prince,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all like sad, and it's that evil scene where she's like, "Wah!" and it makes sense in my head, I swear. But she's basically turning back time that way Anastasia can get with the prince. And so that's what I was picturing with Marco, and how basically Marco wouldn't remember, or Star would never remember Marco ever again. And I'm like, but it just remembers the time they fell in love, so it's the Blood Moon Ball scene, so it's like, twirly, twirly, split apart. It's like, so that's why I started to get emotional, because I was like first watching the episode through, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah. But of course, we would later learn in time, it's not that they no longer had a relationship, it's just that they were no longer bound by a curse
Yeah.
to be in a relationship. And I'm not gonna lie, I always thought that was kind of clever. I kind of took it as it's almost like it was like the Blood Moon curses, like it's very difficult to try to explain, but it's the kind of thing where it's like it predicted Star and Marco would get together, but it was gonna be it'd be a thing where like the curse would have to be broken in order to show it's a genuine relationship. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And,
does.
yeah, and I just realized I forgot to put corn chip crumbs on my tie.
At least they can dance. And the reason why another reason why I did the removable button, I noticed is really hard for doing those photos when Star's like this with Marco's hat.
hmm
That I don't know what kind of like black hole magic is inside of Marco's hat, but how does she fit that huge bun into his hat?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, especially considering, because, like, this opening, I mean, I know it's a cosplay, but, like, this opening is just enough for my head. It's just, I just don't know how that could work. I'm just,
And then, but yeah, that's why I did the removable button thing. That way I can take my horns off too. And so that way I can actually get those good pictures from the show. So
yeah. So,
at least
but
make it dance.
I don't know. I mean, would you have to do the thing where you would have to take the bun off in order to, like, if you were to recreate that scene where Star puts on the sombrero? Would,
I don't think so, unless I would like knock the bun off while putting the sombrero on.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah. Or is Chris does he also want to cosplay as Blood Moon Margot one of these days?
He actually does have a cosplay of Blood Moon Marco.
Oh, he does?
He
Never
did.
gotten to seen it.
He cosplayed as Blood Moon Marco when I did Blood Moon Star for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did Blood Moon Star for the cosplay competition for Long Beach Comic Con, and I didn't get anything. But this is when I was in the beginning of my cosplaying part of myself, and I had this horrible tan line on the shoulder from going out and swimming. So, and I had no way of covering up, so that was on stage. And then one of my favorite poses that...
Oh. Uh-oh. Wondering, did we lose Caitlin there? I will go and message her. So yeah, stick around. We're enjoying the stream so far. Really enjoying the comments coming by. Just double checking. Uh-oh. Yeah, so give us a second. I'm trying to troubleshoot. Oh, okay. Ray said that the computer died, so we'll see if Ray, if you're watching. Oh, she's getting it back on right now. So sorry for the little technical hiccup. Hope it's been fun. I might have to switch windows. Leave. Allow. Call back. Oops. Okay, just getting Caitlin back on.
So sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's cool. So, yeah, what were we discussing? We were getting to, like, was it the end of the Curse of the Blood Moon discussion?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but all's well that ends well, of course. You know, Star Marco, they get together at the end of the series. But
Yeah.
I don't know, how would you explain, like, the impact that the Blood Moon Ball episodes have had on you personally, Caitlin?
Me personally, I mean, like I said, it helped. The Blood Moon Ball episode impacted me, basically telling me that anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, yes, I'm not a magical princess from another dimension, but after meeting Chris at con, it's like a literal Star and Marco scenario. Him and I were cosplaying a Star and Marco when we met in person, and now we're dating, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Like, it's kind of like, I guess on my end, it just, you know, getting interested in this episode was, I know it's a weird way to word it, but I don't know what it is. It kind of like unlocked like the creative sides of both me and my sister in a way,
Mhm.
like, you know, creating this cosplay and starting this YouTube channel, because I had an interest in like talking about like different shows. I also discussed video games. I didn't just want to make it about Star, but like something about it just like, you know, when like the creative side, and I got to meet amazing cosplayers like you, Chris, and so many others that I've talked about in videos. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's kind of interesting how something about the enthusiasm of the episode just kind of like opened all these doors, if you will.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, so I also mentioned I think Gabby is saying, my friend Gabby is saying that's so cute. I think she's referring to how you and Chris met and are now dating. Yeah. Shout out to Chris. I know it was really good to meet you back at the Pasadena ToonCon. And something I also want to say, this stream, it's kind of in a way, this is about as close to doing a cosplay meetup as we could do for now, because coronavirus doesn't know how to have
Yeah.
fun. So, yay. So until you know, it subsides and conventions come back, this is what we're doing, I suppose, especially
Mhm.
on the Blood Moon Ball's anniversary. So yeah, but getting back to the discussion, what do you personally like to see come out of the future of Star vs. the Forces of Evil?
I would like to at least see some closure. Like in the future, I'd like to see some closure between like how Star and Marco's relationship develops.
Yeah.
One thing that really got me though was number one, last episode we did not get a single Starco kiss. That bugged the heck out of me. And then a 22-minute episode, no closure.
Yeah, I mean, I have
We're
my
gonna
own sort of issues with the Cleve episode, and I'm not one of those like over the top people. Like, I completely respect. I have many close friends that like the episode just fine myself. Some of the ones I'm okay with being ambiguous. Like, I always tell people, well, I like that it's big because it kind of lets people imagine maybe Star and Marco went to a dinner date together, or they went to get donuts, or maybe they did just end on a kiss. But I would like to see them like you see where the relationship goes, especially
I
since
want to see them grow up as characters, if that makes sense.
yeah,
See how them being together affects each other. I mean, granted, not like they weren't together, but like see how they develop as characters now that they're boyfriend and girlfriend. And then another thing I'd like to see is Meteora and Mariposa grow up together.
yeah.
That's
And
another thing I'd like to see.
and I think that's why there's so many fan comics coming out. Like we mentioned, Mooring Mark. I mean, a lot of his comics like show what's it like when Star and Marco have grown up, what happens when Meteor and Mariposa become teens.
And then you got AUs, and then you got Jantom. The
Hmm.
Jantom comics that recently have been coming out aren't actually that bad.
Hmm.
I like the one that recently finished.
Yeah.
Can't think of the name for the life of me, but yeah,
Yeah.
that one was
I'm
pretty good.
Yeah, the name's on the tip of my tongue. I don't quite remember, but I could see a relationship form because I do want to see Tom inevitably be happy. Like we've seen throughout the show, he has a big anger issue, and that's a big
Hmm.
part of why him and Star didn't, end up
Hmm.
together. They tried dating twice and didn't work.
Hmm.
So, but at the same time, that's not to say I don't want to see Tom be happy. And I think they were kind of playing around with this idea of what if Jana got together with Tom. Like there was that whole episode where it was mainly focused on them and they were going on some
What
misadventures
was
with
it,
like,
Shenanigans? No, that was a different episode.
yeah, the name is not coming to mind, but
I
yeah, but
remember it was about Tom and Jana in a big boot.
yeah, which would lead to all sorts of problems, but yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much in the same boat as well. I mean, I remember I used to work at a marketing company, and I remember a couple of my coworkers were also into Star vs. the Force of Evil, and one of the people I worked with was in the boat of what if they made a Star sequel series where it mostly focused on Mariposa and Meteora, like kind
Mhm.
of like Mooring Mark's comic.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially think so. Especially yeah, since I felt like, especially when those characters grow up, I think they have a potential to have a story of their own. Or another option I have is maybe somewhere down the line. Have you seen what the couple Nickelodeon movies that were put on Netflix, like Invaders Zim Enter the Florpus or
Yes.
Rocco's Modern Life Sad Cling? I'm kind of wondering, what
Yeah.
if down the line they do something like that? It's probably going to be on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, because knowing how Disney works, and they're about to release that Phineas and Ferb movie on
Mhm.
that streaming service, so I'm thinking maybe that could be a possibility as well.
Also, that would be really cool. Also, bringing real life into this. I know Darren's working on her own thing, but conveniently, Adam and Darren are working on their own things at the same time.
Adam and who?
Adam and Darren.
Oh,
Yeah, Adam's working on his own thing. I know Darren's working with something with Nickelodeon, but she's worked with Nickelodeon for a couple years now.
oh,
So,
after Star ended?
mhm.
I see.
But conveniently, they're both working on something, so.
Mm-hmm. But it's kind of up in the air what this is.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's not really. So yeah, it's not a
It's not really.
situation
It's
like.
not confirmed at Star at all, but there's that possibility. That possibility is still out there.
Yeah, I mean,
But Disney's kind of, from what I can see, shut Star. From what I've seen, is shut Star out, even though they're still running the episodes. I mean, granted, yes, it makes sense they're more focused on the newer shows like Amphibia, Owl House, Big City Greens,
mm-hmm.
and all the other shows that are on Disney. But Star's been shoved into a corner.
Yeah, the one thing is that at least they put the episodes on Disney Plus, which
True.
from the last time I checked, they didn't do that with Wander Over Yonder. So
No.
at least
Wander Over Yonder was a good series too.
yeah. I haven't watched as a whole, but my sister has shown me a couple episodes, which I think it's a fun
I've
show.
just seen a couple episodes. I don't think I saw the whole series.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe they could do something like, especially when I think about what Nickelodeon did with Zim and Rocco. Zim, especially from what I've seen, has a really huge cult fan base, and I think that's why they were like, okay, Jonan Vasquez and everybody, you can come back and do this movie for us. So I'm kind of thinking maybe somewhere down the road, I still think that there's hope somewhere, and I think Disney has a history, although they tend to do this with their most popular shows per se, of bringing them back somewhere down the road, like what they're doing with Phineas and Ferb, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I still think that it could be a possibility that something like that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's been a really great discussion. Do you have much more to say, Caitlin?
I can't think of anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be really nice to see one day Chris's Blood Moon cosplay. It would be kind of funny though if we met at a convention and we're both wearing our Blood Moon Marcos.
What's sad is that I was supposed to go because I had tickets to at least 2 conventions this year. I had tickets to WonderCon,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I was going to debut my Salem cosplay and my green dress star cosplay from the season 4 poster. The non-canon, it's technically canon to the poster, but it was never used in the show, even though I would have liked to see it in the show. Anyways, that's off topic. And then I was supposed to go to AX.
And
So
yeah, because of a certain pandemic, those plans have been getting. Excuse me. Yeah. So I think I had similar plans myself. I mostly go to conventions to film and interview cosplayers. But me and my sister, we also have plans of our own. I really wanted to go back to WonderCon. I went back in 2018 when a friend of mine gave me gave me tickets, and I was able to go, and it was really amazing. And I went with my friend Steven and had a good time. I mostly like going to WonderCon. I'm kind of hesitant about Anime Expo because of how crowded it's become. That's mainly why I stuck to the Long Beach conventions, because they're much easier to get around in. And also kind of gives me a bit of college nostalgia, since that was I was working at a college newspaper, and my editor was like, "Do you want to go to a comic convention and cover it?" And I was like, oh, "This is amazing! I love this place." Yeah, it's like Anime Expo, except my feet don't hurt and it's not nearly as crowded.
I just saw one of the comments, and I was actually supposed to go to Emerald City Comic Con too. I was supposed to go on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna go as Star.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year would have been my first WonderCon and my first Anime Expo, because the only cons I had ever been to were the Long Beach Comic Expo in 2017, and I met Joe Keery from Stranger Things, otherwise known as Steve.
Wow.
I met Gibbs from Pirates of the Caribbean. the shorter guy from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Long Beach Comic Con where I met you. And then I took pictures with the Invader Zim cast. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
Like, because Invader Zim was a big part of my life when I was little. Like, I had this Grr backpack. It said Doom on it. It was Grr sitting down in the puppy onesie, and and the backpack had a hood. And it was the puppy onesie hood. And it was one of my favorite things in middle school. And I literally wore it until it broke.
I see. Yeah, it's kind of funny though. Not to go a little off topic, but did you also get into Zim like years after it came out?
Yeah, mainly because of the dark aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of household I was in, I wasn't really allowed to watch stuff like that, so I mainly got into it I got into it when I was about, I want to say 13.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, that's probably around the range I started watching Invader Zim.
Yeah, I think I was in middle school when I discovered it from this book called, I think it's called Not Just Cartoons, Nicktoons. They're Nicktoons. It's a book that features artwork from many of the Nickelodeon shows from like 1991 to 2008.
And then I remember some of my older favorites from Nicktoons was Cat Scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And Cat Dog.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm also a Cat Dog fan. That book also, I think it also got me into watching Hey Arnold for the first time. Really amazing. Zim was also, I think, the kind of show that I don't think my parents really want me seeing, especially when things got gross. I mean, I don't really think there's like a scene in Zim where I'm like, ugh, I can't even watch it to this day. It's that, but it's like, yeah, a lot of the stuff can get kind of gruesome, but it's just like,
yeah.
I guess welcome to the wacky world of Jonan Vasquez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I was babysitting in Washington, and they're like, "Oh, I want to watch the movie that has the puppy on it," and they were pointing to Invader Zim.
Mm-hmm.
Enter the Florpus, and I'm like, there's nothing bad in it that I can think of that'll scar their minds. And then and every time I went to babysit, can I watch the movie that has the puppy in it? Sure. And so I had pieces nice memorized in my head, and I'm like, that's just great.
Yeah, were the parents cool with it?
The parent was cool with it. As long as it had no gore in it or anything, it was fine. Yeah,
I mean, Enter the Florpus, when you consider like the other stuff they do in Zim, Rise of Zip Boy, probably the most infamous episode is, dang it, what's the episode where Zim steals the organs?
Oh,
Dark
yeah,
Harvest.
that one.
Yeah, oh my god, my friend is like really creeped out by that episode.
I think I was mentally scarred by that episode when I was little, and then rewatching it now, I'm like, I can see why, but now I'm an adult, and so I can't be scarred from it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in that same boat. I didn't watch it as a kid because nobody ever told me about Zim back.
Unleash your small child. I remember that from the panel.
I don't know. Maybe because of how kind of controversial Zim got, maybe that's why I couldn't really find like VHS tapes of Zim at like the Ross store, or because like everywhere, like I would go with my parents, it would just be like Rugrats, Fairly Odd Parents. I think even Cat Dog. I could never find a Zim videotape. I've never seen one in person. So yeah,
yeah.
there goes our outburst with Nickelodeon shows. So yeah, I'll check the comments quickly. By the way, the episode you mentioned where Tom and Jana were hanging out, it was called Junk and Jana.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did meet David Tennant at Disneyland. That was interesting.
Oh, cool.
I was
as
dressed
in
up as
Scrooge McDuck, David Tennant?
Yep.
Wow, you're lucky. I wish I had those encounters.
Him and his family were at Disneyland at the same time my friend and I were, and we were Disney bounding as Anastasia and Lucifer from Cinderella, because it was during that like Halloween time, and I don't know why I said time 3 times now. But it was during that time, and so we were like, we're gonna be Anastasia and Lucifer, and so we saw a post by Disneyland celebs on Instagram, and it was taken on the Tomorrowland side, because my friend and I know that, because we know Disneyland and California Adventure like the back of our hand.
Mm-hmm.
So we're both like, what if he's in Tomorrowland right now? And so we were literally scanning the perimeter, and we found him. And my friend's, so we were literally following him. And my friend's mom's like, leave the poor man alone.
Jeez.
And so we literally followed him. We were in Tomorrowland, and there's that like ice cream truck cart thing over by the tiki room. We followed him all the way over there, and we asked the cast member that was with them, can we please take a picture with David Tennant? He's like, you'll have to ask him yourself. And I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ended up getting a picture with him. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's
Was he
another
surprised that he was recognized?
I don't think he was surprised, because he had taken a picture with someone else like 2 hours before we met him. But I didn't even think of it to take a picture with his wife too, because his wife played the doctor's daughter in some of the episodes.
Oh.
But it was just mainly David Tennant that was going through my mind. He's such a sweet guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's really nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then I was excited to go to WonderCon because I still haven't met Adam or Darren in person.
You haven't?
No.
Hope you can one of these days. They're really nice. I've met and interviewed them a couple times. They're really nice and down-to-earth people.
My Chris actually got some of my stuff signed by Adam, and he got my Guide to Every Dimension signed by Adam with his "it me" pointing to Marco.
Yeah, yeah, I do
signature.
remember. Chris was there when I met Darren in Pasadena.
At what was it, ToonCon?
ToonCon, yeah.
Yeah, and he got that signed by Darren as well, and it's got a little picture of Star and Darren Nefsey, and I hold that near and dear to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got his beach photo sign that I made him, because I made a special edit of us two, like we were in the beach day episode. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. It was that the art that I showed earlier in the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm really glad I got it.
Chris got a copy of the beach day photo to Adam with a personal note written on the back.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool, and he actually took a picture with some fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
with the picture.
Yeah, hopefully you can meet Darren and Adam one of these days. I'm honestly really
I think
surprised.
I have more of a chance of meeting Adam than Darren at this moment, because Adam's working with Salem. And so there's the possibility of a premiere party happening. I don't know if that's happening, but I'm happy to hold the position of the first person to cosplay as Salem.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then now I'm working on Cryptid Salem.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's going... I haven't worked on it since I put the lights in. I need to make the neck thing and then start working on the bodysuit. But that's a whole adventure in itself. That's my first time doing anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, I'm sure it'll go well. Chris mentioned don't forget about the Comic-Con live stream this weekend. He says that Adam is in the lineup. Is it I've talked about Comic-Con at home briefly in a video. Do you know if it'll be a thing where you could talk to Adam in like a live chat and say, hi, I really like Star?
I don't think so. I remember joining granted, yes, it's a totally different thing. But I remember joining the, what's it called? The cartoon crash course thing with Darren.
Mm-hmm.
I got into my Blood Moon Ball Star getup, watched the whole thing, and we weren't allowed to show our photos. We weren't allowed to show our video cameras.
Oof.
I'm like, I got into this cosplay for nothing.
Was it the kind of thing where you could only like leave like a text message or just like your voice or something?
Our voice chats were muted because it was a Zoom call, so our voice chats were muted, and our cameras were turned off, and so it was mainly just and then at the end they did Q&A and stuff like that. But I didn't get a spot in the Q&A set part, so
Hmm. Yeah.
there's
Hopefully.
other opportunities. I'm planning on going, hopefully, when this whole situation clears up, to go to a D23 star.
Mm-hmm.
So just to get me out there.
Yeah.
I still consider myself as a baby cosplayer, even though people are like, you're a cosplay god, and I'm like, I'm not a cosplay god. I'm a baby cosplayer that's barely cosplayed only mainly one character, and then branched off into a couple of characters occasionally.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Like
I
I only
think.
have one Steven Universe cosplay, and the rest of them are Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and then you got Salem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think you were off to a good start. So yeah. So yeah. Hopefully. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure like Darren is kind of like I know she's really busy, and I'm sure she's also kind of taking a break from Star Wars: The Forces of
Yeah.
Evil. I guess I'm trying to find the nicest way to put it, but I hope you can meet because it really seems like you put in the effort to meet them, and you said Chris has met Adam, right? And even
Yes,
given.
Chris has met Adam and Darren. I wrote a letter for Darren. He handed the letter over to her, as far as I know. So it was pretty cool, from what he told me. So
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I can't believe I still haven't met them. But also with me moving to Washington for a year didn't help. So, but I was barely introduced into cons in 2017, so I was kind of a late bloomer into the Star versus fandom, kind of in that aspect, with starting to cosplay and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. I see.
but
I noticed that Chris was making a few Zim references. He mentions Peace is Nice and Postulio in the
Postulio.
yeah the episode where Zim had that really giant. I thought it was
Yeah,
really gross. They actually showed like the
the
but it's
juice.
like bouncing
Ugh,
around. It's just like seeing the
that was
pimples
gross.
enough. Dang. Um, what else? I'll keep it brief. Yeah, it seems like the Comic Con at Home events. It's mainly going to be like a YouTube live sort of thing. So it's like, so is it going to be like a Nintendo Direct kind of thing where you can't really speak to the people like talking directly? You could only just watch the announcements as they go.
I think it's just mainly like it could be just like a Q&A.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you can meet them one of these days. I'm sure they would really
I
like
do
your
want to go to a
cosplay.
Boba meetup sometime because
Yeah.
I've heard those are really cool.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to go to them a lot myself because I live in the LA area, and if I were to do a Google Maps search of that place in like of San Diego Boba Tea, it's literally over 100 miles from where I live, so really far. And also Comic Con is really difficult to get into. It's the kind of convention where it's like you want to go next year, you better order your tickets from like the second they go on sale the year prior.
Hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, I hope you can meet them someday. I know I think they would really like your cosplay, and they're really down to earth
They
people.
interacted they interacted with my Twitter post
Hmm.
with the mask that I did, the mask pictures that I took. Because conveniently Darren posted that picture, the stay home, stay safe, wear a mask or whatever.
Yeah,
And so I'm like, conveniently, I have a picture of myself and Adam's merch in my Star cosplay.
yeah.
And both Adam and Darren interacted with that post, so
Hmm.
they both liked the post. Means a lot to me, so
Yay. Yeah, it's really nice when they interact with fans posts. For
like I secretly like fangirl on the inner side, on the inside when at least Adam interacts with the post. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for people who may be getting into Star Wars Force of Evil and may not have tried tweeting the cast and crew, they tend to be pretty interactive. I would suggest maybe what works for me is I tend to try to reply to their posts when they like as soon as they come out to see if they could
Mhm.
at least like notice them because I do
Mhm.
like to tweet them every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried doing that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think I'll all right, so I think I'm gonna leave it here. So yeah, so it's been a lot of fun talking with you, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoy your cosplay. Do you have any last things to say?
Nope.
Nope. So we're all good.
Mhm.
Yeah. So cool. So thank you for joining me and celebrating the Living Ball, and we talked about all sorts of other things. It's been a
Mhm.
lot of fun. I really liked getting back into this cosplay. Hopefully when coronavirus is not the big issue it is now, we can finally get back to conventions and yeah, cosplay again. So yeah, so thank you, Caitlin, for coming on.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so until next time, for everybody watching, if you're watching this after the stream is over, just leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, this has been Bloodmoon Bobby and Katlyn Heinrichs, and we'll see you all later.
Bye.